Admit all. Welcome. Good morning, or wait, no, we're afternoon for everybody now.
Good morning in Hawaii.
Yeah, there you
go. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let me turn my light on here.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining. We've got a great topic to share with you guys, which is our desktop app and how to start recording simple videos from our computer to build relationships. I mean, by now we all know that visual communication is where it's at. When people are talking, it's very easy to get distracted and not have good comprehension rates and then not feel inspired to actually want to take the next step. So when we share visual communication, I think something really magical happens. Number one is there's this thing in neuroscience that's called neural mirroring, which is something that I'm really exploring. And the idea is that when neurons are firing, when we hear a story or when we're listening to a visual story, the neurons that the listener, the way that the neurons are firing in the listener's mind is actually very similar to that in which the storyteller's mind. And I think the reason why that's relevant is because when this neural mirroring takes place, it allows the listener to be curious and to be vulnerable and to wait till the end of the story and to see what the arc of the story is and see, frankly, how it can affect them and improve their life. So I think that we all need to do a better job, me first and foremost, to be great visual storytellers. And I think that the Dubb desktop app is a really easy way to be able to do this in the comfort of our home office, at our work office, at our desk with our device on. We've got our webcam on. We've got our favorite screen. If we want to have multiple monitors, like I have 3 right here, that's okay too. Whatever works for you is going to make sense with this tool. So this tool is in beta release right now. So I'm really happy that you guys are here to experience it in all of its glory. But at the same time, you know, we do count on your feedback. So please let us know if there's little kinks or bugs or UX issues that we want to work out. There's no egos here. We are all big, huge, fat Dumbo ears ready to listen. As always, in the chat, where are you tuning in from? What problems are you trying to solve? Have you had experience with the Dubb desktop app? Have you had success stories with the Dubb desktop app, or for that matter, the Dubb platform? Have you been able to get to your visual storytelling to a place where you really feel comfortable with it? If not, that's okay. If you've had issues and you haven't been able to record, that's absolutely okay. That's why we're here. We're here to workshop this. We're here to solve those issues. We want to inspire you guys. We want to motivate you guys. We never want you guys to feel like you're inadequate or you haven't done a good job or you've been late to the party. That's not what we ever want. We want you guys to know that we're filled with compassion and empathy to support you guys no matter where you're at. And even if you've been wanting to do this for months and you haven't been able to do this, well, guess what? Today is the sign. And we are going to assist you. So love to get those chat messages going. Thank you for the support. As always, we record these videos and then we share them on our YouTube support channel. That's youtube.com/Dubb support. If you could share that link. And then the other thing that we do is on our other YouTube channel, which is called Dubb app, the show is actually called Rev Show by Dubb. That's a show where we take these topics and we sort of recap them and turn them into kind of a cinematic experience. So we're really ramping up that YouTube channel. Would love for you guys to subscribe to those channels. Any questions that you have, put them in the chat. Since this is not a webinar, this is a live meeting, we don't have the Q&A option. So just throw those in the chat and then we can kind of pin them and address them as we go. Darius, I wanted to pass it off to you.
Yeah, so examples of neural mirroring, when you smile in front of a baby and then the baby smiles back, or when somebody yawns or sneezes and then all of a sudden you have to yawn or sneeze. Those are real life examples of that. And so storytelling is the same format. When you can tell a story in a format like in a pre-recorded video, you can often have your audience's frame of mind be where you want them by telling a visual story. So in today's training, guys, we're actually going to be doing some breakout sessions. Won't be super long, but we do want to give you guys an opportunity to sort of follow along if you'd like to test some things out. Again, we're listening. We want feedback. And so we will be presenting the tool. The desktop app is what we're going to be talking about today. And there's some really great additions for both PC and Mac. We just confirmed it was for PC as well. So that's what we're going to be showing you guys is today, a step-by-step tutorial for how to install and use the brand new Magenta 7.0, well, technically 4.0 on the desktop app features to really get the most out of what we've built for you guys. So I think we are ready to actually jump straight in. And again, if there's any questions, anything like that, would love to have you guys contribute and take part in the chat, because we will be answering stuff. We'll be having some conversation shortly after. So here is what's going to happen now is I'm going to show you guys actually the install process first. So what we're going to do is go to your browser, whatever it is. We recommend Chrome. Dubb is fully supported on Chrome. And you're going to go to this URL. Ina, if you could put this in the chat, it's just dubb.com/desktop-app. Now, don't go to the App Store like from Microsoft or Apple or something. Come to this URL. This is where all the latest versions will be installed. And because this one's a beta, guys, there might be some quick updates here coming based on feedback. So you will want to make sure you uninstall and then reinstall the latest version always from this location. So pin this URL or save this URL because, again, there will be periodic updates as we continue to improve the technology. Now, you'll see here there is both Mac and PC versions available. So whichever device you guys are on, the latest updates are available for both versions. Just be aware there's one exclusion from this, which is vertical monitors. That's going to be in the next update. So if you have a vertical second monitor, it won't record that yet, but very, very soon. So you're going to download the appropriate version for your device. Depending on which one it is, or Mac or PC, the install process is just slightly different. For Mac, you'll have your opening of your files. There's going to be a little drag and drop. For PC, there's like a little install button. Drag
and then for PC, you can also uninstall. If you have the previous version, you can uninstall that, and that way you have a fresh install. In the Mac version, when you drag and drop this file, it should replace the previous version that you have on your computer. But what I typically do anytime I want to replace software is I just delete the existing one in the applications folder, and that way I know it's just scratch, you know?
Correct. If something's not working for you, there's likely an updated version here. So you'll come to this location, uninstall the previous version, and then reinstall the latest one from here. Now, once the application is installed, again, you'll either come to your Finders or your Windows button and pull up your applications. You'll find Dubb there. When you launch this, the first time it's going to say, are you sure you want to open this? You're going to say yes, and it's going to download. And at this point, it's going to, if you're on Mac, it's going to request permissions to access your camera, your microphone, screen recording capabilities. So just make sure you click allow on each of those requests. Now, I've previously granted permissions, so mine remembered that, and it remembered that I had already granted permissions, so it didn't request them again. But just be aware, you guys will have to click yes on those requests.
And to find the version, just click the About Dubb in the navigation, and then that's actually going to show you. So make sure you have the 4.0 version.
That's the latest one for both PC and Mac. Now, once you have also logged in, so it's going to ask you to log in the first time. And if you have your default browsers like Microsoft Edge or something like that, it'll try to open your default browser and log you into Dubb. If your browser's already Chrome, it'll just open your Dubb account and you'll be logged in. All of those things are just a one-time process, except for the uninstall and reinstall that we described with, for new versions. But all the permissions and the login will be remembered by the device. Now, once you have it logged in and open, this is what you're going to see. And I'll actually close to show you guys how to reopen this. So you'll either come to your Windows or Finder button and either search for Dubb or go to Applications and launch Dubb from there. If it's already open, there's actually going to be some shortcuts. If you're on Mac, you can see this little Dubb button there will open the shortcut. And if you're on PC, it's going to be over here in your lower right. There's a little upward caret. And if you click the caret, it'll show your little short icons. You'll see the D there. And now when you click that, either from the PC version or the Mac version, it can open your ability to record your screen or webcam. So first, I'm going to show you guys how this is going to work with your teleprompter. I do want to give you guys a moment as well. If you want to install this right now, you can take a moment to do so. And because again, we'll have some breakout sessions. This is going to be one of them, guys. We're actually going to show you just a quick recap of the AI and how it can generate a script, and then how we can import that script to the teleprompter. And then we're actually going to do a breakout for adjusting the teleprompter for your preferred viewing, because you can adjust the size and the speed and the text font and the shape, and then it's going to remember those settings. So that's what we're going to have in just a moment, guys. So if you've taken a second here to install from the website, now we're going to record, we're going to create a script with the AI. So move my Zoom tools there. So on the Dubb dashboard is one location where we can use the AI. And this is where the import to scripts button is going to be as well. So I'm just going to write a sales video script for a teleprompter. Should use Dubb. And we're just going to make this short. And again, you can put whatever you want in here, but we're going to keep this one simple because this isn't the actual thing we're demonstrating. If you guys have not seen the AI tool on Dubb yet, we have a full webinar training on how to use this guy. We definitely want to give you access to that. So once you have, again, this is sort of more of a script, not perfect for a teleprompter, but you can see there's a button there to add to scripts. So if this is what you've written, again, you can copy and paste this and have it rewrite the same thing until you actually get what you want, or change the prompt, hit submit again. And once you actually have what you want, maybe do some final editing here, then we can click add to scripts. Now, where that saves this is in our universal scripts library. So whether you're going to be recording from the mobile, from the website, from the desktop app, which we're focused on today, that's where those scripts are going to be available in each recording option.
And here's actually a pro tip. Darius, if you click Dubb on the desktop app and then view dashboard, this is actually another option so that you can view your Dubb dashboard directly through the desktop app. And also as a result, you can use the AI assistant. So you actually, I mean, of course you can use the Chrome, you can log into Dubb on your Chrome browser in a tab. But if you are using this on a daily basis, which is what a lot of people do, just open up the Dubb desktop app on your PC or Mac, and then just have the dashboard there where you have access to the AI assistant and all of the functionality of Dubb directly through the desktop app.
Exactly. So I have actually had a lot of people that prefer the desktop version. They're like, well, I use my other browser. I use Safari or something. So they end up using Dubb as the desktop app for all Dubb related things. So we're going to actually now go to our teleprompter. So if you guys have either already have an existing script, or we're going to be, we use the AI to generate one, we're now going to adjust our teleprompter here. So 1 second, let me minimize that and then record my webcam. Now I'm going to select from one of my scripts, and you guys can see the teleprompter has several adjustments to be made. One is the height, and this one's really important because we want to make sure that the teleprompter isn't all the way down from here or down to there, because you're technically probably going to read from these bottom lines. So we do always recommend to leave the teleprompter really high near the camera so that your eye line doesn't wander toward the middle of the screen. We want your vision focused near the top so that you're just reading from those very top lines. So that's the first thing, is the height. You want to make sure you don't have that down near the bottom. The second thing is the font size, where you can see we can increase or decrease that font size to what makes sense for you. Now, actually, one thing before this is the script itself. When you write your script, you don't want to put like really long paragraphs without any break in them. You want to make it more like natural how you speak, you know, like a one sentence and then an enter. So there's a natural pause in the script. What that's going to do is help break it up so that you're not trying to keep up with a constant stream where it has natural breaks in it. So that is one thing I would say before even making the adjustments here is you'll want to break up your sentence where it's not just like a one giant run-on paragraph. You'll want to put enters or spaces or periods in those sections to break it up into how you would speak naturally, or how it would be formatted in perhaps like an essay, or if it was written in a, with grammatic correction. So some pre-editing before your script. If it's longer, you're definitely going to want to do that, because when you run through this, you'll want to know what's coming next and you'll want those pauses in there. So once you have your piece broken up, then you are going to be able to, again, adjust the height. Always do that. Make sure you're not down below. The size, find the font size that works for you. Depending on your camera as well, if this is a external camera, like it's sitting above your computer, you will probably need a little bit more space back here to make your eye line less obvious. Now, those of you with a built-in camera like mine, the teleprompter is, a half an inch or an inch away from the camera. So it looks like I'm looking into the camera when I'm reading from the teleprompter, as long as it's from those top lines. But if I come down to the middle of the screen, then all of a sudden it's not as clear that I'm looking into the camera. So height, text size, and then the final thing here is speed. So you can see it says words per minute when I mouse over there. You can adjust the speed faster or slower. And this is, again, meant to be in conjunction with the font size. So you want it large enough for you to read. But again, if it's really giant font and the speeds, it's going to be impossible to read. So if you have a larger font, you're going to want to adjust the speed lower so that when you start to record, it's actually going to go at the speed that makes sense for you. So also, this is sort of a pro tip. Be aware that the teleprompter speed will vary based on the amount of words per line. So on lines that have more words, it's going to go a little bit slower because that line is going to take longer to read from. So be aware that's a natural expected variance in the speed of the teleprompter. You might see it here where it goes a little bit slower and then maybe it speeds up just a little bit more. These are all really close in length, but you will see the difference on really longer lines to shorter lines. It'll naturally vary in its speed. So just be aware of that. It's not a bug or something. It's intentional. Okay, so this is your guys' opportunity to, if you have a script, find some adjustments, height, size, and speed, and then you'll just want to do a practice run where when you read from it, upbeat music background, are you feeling overwhelmed by the burden of foreclosure? So this one's a little bit too slow for me. So I would probably speed it up just a little bit more and then retry. Are you feeling overwhelmed by the burden of foreclosure? We understand the stress and the uncertainty. So again, probably a little bit slow for me. So it might take a couple times to adjust that. But again, with those three variables, height, size, and speed, and it will remember this. So here, I'm going to close my recording. And then now the next time I go to record, it's going to remember those settings that I selected. So I don't have to readjust the height and the speed and the font size again. So this will be a big factor for you guys if you are going to be recording longer videos. If you guys are doing anything short, like 30-second one-offs, I don't recommend a teleprompter for those. I do recommend just trying to speak from the cuff if it's short enough that you can do so, or as often as you can, right? It's better to not read from a teleprompter just because you can have unless you're really, really practiced with the script from the teleprompter or just like a pro reader. I do encourage people to not use it when you don't have to. But it is there to definitely help. And I use it, we all use it, and we've all recorded thousands of videos at this point. So it's there for pros and newbies alike.
I think one of the other things that has really helped me in this process of using the teleprompter is, number one, is reading my script before I go and start to record it, right? So if you're going to read your script as within the editable script area first, it's going to allow you to rehearse and to practice this, because the way that we write is different from the way that we speak, and it's different from the way that we record video. So there's like these 3 steps that you need to get through the writing process, get through the reading process. And then once you've read it and you feel comfortable with it and you've done your edits and your updates, then do a dry run. don't click record yet, because it's okay. You got this. You're going to get to it, but just do a dry run. And you'll notice when you do that dry run, you'll notice you trip on a word. You notice that there's a too long sentence, like a run-on sentence. You'll notice that some grammar has some issue. Maybe you want to change some words. We encourage you to do that type of practicing, because the last thing that you want to do is to go to record your video and then you've done like 20 takes, because that causes anxiety. It causes mental health issues. I'm not exaggerating. If I were to show you screenshots of my phone where I've tried to record videos, I have like 50 takes of those videos. And by the 50th take, I just want to throw my computer out the window and just go surfing or something, because it's really, really difficult. So the regimen, the discipline that we have to do is to just make sure that we write the script appropriately. We read that script, we're comfortable with it. We do our dry run, maybe one or two, get it to a place where you feel comfortable with it. And then we click record. And that will, folks, it does not save time to just click record and just see what happens from the top of your dome. It does not save time, because you end up either fatiguing and not doing anything, or you end up having to go back and redo your work, or you sort of muscle through it and try to get that video done. And by the time you're done with it, you don't want to go back to do it, either consciously or subconsciously. So go through that process. The other thing that I always recommend is practice with the teleprompter. There's like Darius was showing us, he was really good at taking a pause in between lines. If the line is not there yet, that's okay. You can take a moment to just take a breath, or to look up, or to think about it, because that also adds a really effective way to take a pause, to put emphasis, or to put a point, or to allow someone to comprehend what you just said.
Excellent. So what we just showed, guys, is just the first part of this, which is the webcam only version, and how to adjust the teleprompter. And then again, that same teleprompter will be available on both the screen version we're going to show next, as well as the desktop. So whatever adjustments, or the webcam, so whatever adjustments you make are going to work for both. One other pro tip here, guys, this is a really cool thing where you can actually program some keyboard shortcuts, where you can actually start your recording or pause or end your recording with your keyboard, so that you're not, trying to find your mouse and stuff afterwards. This is actually going to be in your preferences, and we will come back to preferences another time, just right after this next part. But right here in preferences, shortcuts, the one that I always recommend changing is the pause button. You can see my pause I have set to space. So all I did was I clicked here, and then I clicked the space bar, and it changed the control to that. Now, the only issue with having space as your pause is that you can't type if you're going to be doing this type, because if you have the desktop app running, you won't be able to put spaces in between your words, because the space bar is going to pause your video. But it is extremely useful for when you're recording like this. Like here, I'll start my recording here, 3, 2, 1. And I want to say, hey, John, I just had a quick video for you. Just wanted to share it. And that's actually right after this, pause. And the video is already there. So that way I didn't have to like do anything. It's very easy to just click the pause button with the space bar. But again, just be aware of the limitation. If you're going to be typing and doing stuff like that in your screen recording, you will probably not want that feature on. Okay, so this is webcam, guys. Now we're going to go to the screen, and this is really where the realm of possibilities open up, because you can do a lot of really cool stuff with your different size screens. If there's any questions on the webcam version, feedback, I do see some chats, guys, and we'd love to come back to those. So keep them coming. Screen. So from the same tool, again, if we don't know where it went, if it's open, if the Dubb app is turned on, it'll be here in your shortcut, and you can click record screen, or in PC, you can click the little button down there, same tool. And once you launch the screen recorder, this is the tool that you're going to see. And there's actually 2 switches I want to talk about before I get here, guys. Back to preferences, which is, you're going to see this in a moment. And this is the big announcement that we've done the update on, which is these 2 features here: enable clip recording and enable video editor. So this is what we're going to be talking about today, is the ability to record multiple clips, just like on the mobile app, if you guys are familiar with that. You can also take existing video and merge it in with something that you're recording. And then there's going to be an ability to trim and edit this before it ever gets uploaded to Dubb as well. So make sure these switches are off by default. So if you install the latest 4.0 version, these switches right now are turned off because this is a beta. We want to show you guys, make sure that people aren't getting messed up and you guys have early access. So again, with the application open, I'm selected on the application, go to Dubb, Preferences, and just right here under General, you're going to enable clip recording and enable video editor. You can see they are both still labeled as beta. And if all goes well this week, guys, we're going to be turning these on by default for future versions. Now, we are ready to record. So let me minimize my stuff here first so you guys can just see the app itself. Too many things on the screen. Okay, so this is the control bar for the desktop app. If you have a second monitor right now, what you'll need to do is take this and drag it over to the second monitor if you want to record your second screen. Otherwise, if you're just on the one monitor, you'll have the control bars here. Now, mine is visible because I have it set to be visible. Your guys's by default will not be visible to other people. So just don't check that box if you don't want your controls visible. Now, what we're going to be doing is, again, with the teleprompter, we can select our little script, whatever we want it to be. And then there's webcam options. So this little bubble right here, or the webcam icon, the first one is just your regular circle. That's the default. You can use a square, a rectangle. You can also click to drag the edge here. So this is unique on the desktop app. The Chrome extension doesn't work like that. So just the left edge, I don't think it's the right edge. I guess it's the right edge too. But yeah, the left edge is where I always click to drag it, open that. You can also double click this to expand to a full size. So I can say, hey guys, let me show you something really cool about the desktop app. And then I double click and it's back to the bubble. And now I'm showing my screen and etc. Now there's something else really cool to be aware of, which is if you are on Mac and have an iPhone, you can actually use your iPhone as the webcam as well. So I can turn this on and you're going to see my feed here.
And that's available on Ventura. So if you have the Mac OS Ventura or later, well, actually Ventura is the latest one. So if you have Ventura, you will see the ability to use your iPhone as a webcam wirelessly, as long as you have Wi-Fi connected on both devices.
And so again, sorry, PC users, that is a Mac, Apple, iPhone feature. But other webcam options, you can display your profile picture. So if you have a headshot you'd like to show instead, you can do that. Or you can just turn off the video portion entirely and have it be just your voice.
There's also another thing that we're really excited about, which is that in the shortcuts, it allows you to use a quick shortcut to change between webcams on your device. This is not for everyone. It's kind of overkill, to be honest. But if you have, like I have one or two webcams around me right now. I only have one connected right now, but at some point I was using multiple webcams so I could switch between one and the other. And that's kind of, this one might be for if I have two people or if I want to have a different angle. It's just variety. So if you do go to the shortcuts section, maybe Darius, if you could show that, it'll show you the ability to click 1, 2, 3 for your different webcams. There it is. So there it is. I think is that option? Yeah, it's it's option 1, 2, and 3. So that's for multiple webcams. And then there was this little thing that is so powerful that Darius mentioned, which is that if you double click the circle, it expands to full width. Okay. This is an absolute opportunity for you guys, because if you're looking to power up your YouTube channel, if you're looking to power up your social media channel, and you want to have a full webcam shot of yourself, like an intro or like an outro, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be discussing X. This is a great way to have that human element where it's a person, it's a narrator, it's a spokesperson. And then, of course, you can click the pause button, which we're going to show in a moment, and then you can go into screen footage. So that's when you can share your Canvas slides or a PDF or your screen or an article or a browser and really have that human element. Make sure you have a good webcam. HD 1080p is, I'd say, is good. 720 is okay, but you'll notice the resolution. I like the Logitech Brio. We'll share our link for that on Amazon. That's a really good webcam. There's some other good ones as well. That some of the new MacBooks have 1080p FaceTime cameras built in. That's kind of cool as well. So
that's the one I have as well. It was a lot sharper than my other. I had a some Logic. I don't think it was the Brio. I think it was like a C920 or something. But this was far superior to my external one, so I was happy with that. Okay, now let's talk about what you guys can actually record. I've had multiple people ask, like, how do I record a PowerPoint, a keynote, or anything on your desktop? That's always been a problem with the Chrome extension in the past, because the Chrome extension can only have the bubble on top of stuff inside of Chrome. Now you can record anything anywhere on your screen and include your webcam and drawing tools and things like that. So what I actually have here is just a little keynote slideshow thing. It's not actually in present mode. I've not actually used Keynote, so I'm not super familiar with it. But even if I'm not in some sort of present mode, I can do something really cool, which is a custom size. So I'm going to give you guys this example, which is going to be right here. And you can see I can choose landscape, which is what I want in this case, or portrait, which we'll show in a moment. And so now I have this little frame on my video. And so I can expand this to only include the part that I want, right? Like I don't want the other slides on the side. I just want this right here. And I want my bubble right in there. And then now when I'm recording this, so again, I just press record, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to say, hey, everybody, I have a really fantastic presentation for you. And it's going to be some slides. So buckle in. Come back down to the bubble. Now we're back in the slides. And so let's go ahead and actually jump into this presentation. Pause. And now I can go to my second slide, resume. So this is what Dubb's all about, guys. And now let's go to slide 3. Pause, slide 3, so on and so forth. Now, this is just recording one clip. Also during this, guys, on the left, some really advanced annotation tools. These are, again, more better and superior than the Chrome extension at this point. We have arrows, there's numbers, so you can say 1, 2, 3. There's text, there's of course the traditional pencil. You can even do circles, you know, whatever you want to draw, circles or squares or ovals around. So really more advanced screen drawing features are also included with this. Just make sure you have the pencil turned on or off. And also be aware, if you are drawing on the screen or you have a tool selected, you won't be able to click on other things on the screen because your mouse is occupied with your drawing tool. So you'll want to make sure you click the trash can, or if you want the drawings to remain, you don't want them to remain, and then you turn the pencil off to free up your mouse again. So just be aware of that little trick. Now, this is one example. I'll go ahead and click the check mark here. And what you're going to see next is that it's created a clip. So this is what I just recorded, that 17-second portion of the video. And now I have the option where I can just click record again. 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to be recording a second part of my presentation. So instead of trying to do one seamless, perfect video with everything in it, I can record in little bursts and say, okay, well, I got through this leg of the race. So now that is safe, right? I can't mess that piece up. And so now I can worry about the next part or the next part, cancel that. You know, like if I record the next video and it's messed up, I can discard that. What you can also do from here is add existing video. So right there, I can click add video, and it's going to allow me to access my library on my desktop and import a video either from the desktop app or just from your regular storage right into this stream as well. And you can also reorder your clips there. So I can click here and drag those clips in the order that I want them to appear. So this is the first new feature of the latest desktop app, guys, which is the multiple clips and the ability to import and merge multiple clips into the desktop app. I know I'm going really fast and covering a lot of stuff, but I have more examples to show you guys just to sort of get the juices flowing here.
And I'll sort of share something that a little bit of a revelation that I had, which is that give me a sec here. So it's easier to create a chain than it is a sword. Okay. And here's what I mean by that. these multi-clip videos are sort of like a chain. Each one of these videos represents a link in this longer chain. And if we want to replace one of the links, we can do so. If we want to trim it and reshape it, cut it, whatever it is, we can add it. If we want to add a link in between while we're recording this, we can add a video from our computer, from our phone. And as we construct this chain, if we have mistakes, we can go and correct those mistakes on an individual basis within one of those clips. The reason why this is so powerful is because once you've created the sword, which is a representation of a long video, you now have to go back in, find the mistakes, find the trims, find the clips, find the issues with a fine-tooth comb, which basically is an editor, and you need to correct those things. And that is where most people fatigue. And that is where most videos go to die, unfortunately. Okay. We love video editors. Video editors are amazing. You don't need a video editor anymore for this type of technology and this type of experience. The idea is to self-edit and to do it in a way where you're iterating each and every piece of content that represents a larger piece. So remember, make a chain, not a sword. It's a lot easier.
Absolutely. And, I always leverage the pause feature before. Sometimes I create, 10, 15-minute plus videos, and the pause button was all I had. And there's a lot of pressure on that still, because you got to hope at the end of the recording, your internet doesn't die or something, something doesn't happen, and that whole thing's been saved. But with the multiple clips, you will have your individual files that you've recorded each leg of your race. So I do recommend multiple clips. And let's actually jump back into the next part of that.
And there was a question I wanted to take real quick. Jose, really good question. Darius can maybe show this, but if Darius, could you click those 3 dots right there? And you'll notice this is actually where it's saving your individual files. Okay. So if you click on show in Finder in Mac or show in folder in PC, this is going to show where those individual clips are. Now, real quick, check this out. Those are called WebM files. WebM files are not what we're mostly used to. WebM files are actually a native recording of a highly compressed, very advanced file format that software, desktop software, or browsers use to record, in this case, screen videos. Okay. Those files, if you double click on it, it's hopefully that's going to play in your Chrome.
And now I'm going to be recording a
Yeah. So most of the time, those are going to be able to play in your Chrome. Sometimes they won't, depending on the settings in your computer. I think in Safari, it doesn't play it. I'm not sure in Firefox or Microsoft Edge. But if you ever want to re-import a WebM into a desktop project, you can click the Add Files button, or sorry, Add Video on the left. And by clicking on Add Video, you can add those videos into your project. If you ever want to convert one of those files into an MP4 format for something else, like social media or like YouTube or whatever it is, there's free converters online to be able to do that. I actually don't know if you can import a WebM file directly into the upload feature on Dubb. So I'm going to get back to you guys on that.
You can. Yeah.
You can? Okay.
Yeah, you can upload any WebM file directly to Dubb from your sources. Yep.
So we can show that in a moment, where if you do have the reason why we added this, folks, is because we make mistakes and things happen. I had a situation where electricity was gone from my computer while I was doing a video. And I was like, oh God, did I lose everything? And then I went back in, and of course I had every single file that I had done, except for I think the last one, which was just an outro saved in a WebM. So I sort of constructed the video with all these WebM files, and I was like, wow, talk about like a stress relief. So I want you guys really to think about no stress. Okay. Video recording should not be stressful. We don't want that anxiety. So here it is.
Absolutely. And that's why the backups are in place. And then you can, again, take your existing stuff or something you just lost or just recorded. So it's a lot safer, a lot more secure than any other thing that we've had before. We have had similar features or updates to the mobile app as well. So when you record a clip, it's saved locally. So in case you get no internet or your phone dies or something, it's still there. Good. Okay. Now, this is what happens after you guys have recorded. Well, actually, sorry. one other thing. Other examples. Not my messy email there. It's going to open it again.
And then we've got some questions too, Darius, when you get a moment.
Good. Okay. We'll get to them in just a second. I just want to give you guys a couple other examples. So we talked about social media for a moment, and you guys know like Instagram shorts, or sorry, Instagram reels, YouTube shorts, things like that, TikTok, we need that 9:16 format. And traditionally you had to record that like on a phone or use a fancy editor after that in order to produce that type of video. But now you could take, again, this is, don't worry about the content of the article, it's awesome fans or something. I just did headline news. I guess this is headline news. So anyway,
it's hot. It's hot.
Right. It's hot. Here's why these are the best. This is headline. So what you would do is on the desktop app, you would select the 9:16 format. And so now I can adjust this little box to where it's going to be a 9:16 video. And then again, I can include my little bubble there and walk people through this thing. So instead of, turn this off really quick. I close this window. And so instead of me having to do some really fancy post edit stuff, I can do something like this with myself here, hit record, and then I can walk them through an article like this or anything in vertical format that I want to share. So this makes it possible now to record videos on your desktop, if that's where you're more comfortable, for social media formats that typically require or respond better to vertical format versus landscape and stuff. So this is what that's going to look like, guys. If you want to record anything in that vertical format, you simply select the custom size option. I'm going to throw that one away, is 9:16. And then anything in that frame is going to get recorded. So just make sure your bubble isn't like halfway or out over here. It's not going to get recorded. It's got to be inside the frame there if you want yourself included. Again, just another example. And I got one more here to show you guys, just for people that are doing things with any sort of contract, invoices, proposals. Don't just send that thing over. Take 30 seconds, 1 minute, record a video walking them through that. So you could say, hey guys, I just wanted to take a moment and actually walk you through the proposal that we were talking about. So what we actually discussed was a due date of 23 years ago. So we're very, very late, but that's okay because we have some adjustments here of $100. And so we're looking, anyway, you get my point, is you can now walk them through this in a much more personal way. Like if you were in person, you wouldn't just hand them the contract. You'd say, hey, let's go over this, or let me show you some of these things, or why we're doing this, why we're signing this, why you're going to want to pay this invoice. So again, just another example of why people would do this on a daily basis, why you'd record your screen. There really are limitless applications where anything you want to show visually or should show visually, you can now do so with a single click from the desktop. So multiple examples there. And now actually I have to go back to my, what's it called?
I'll take a question while you're doing that. So
Okay.
one of the things that someone asked, David, what about a keyboard shortcut to switch between bubble and full screen? So that's basically if the webcam is in a circle and then you want to jump to full screen. So we'll be able to show that in a moment.
I was like, do we have it? I don't think we have a shortcut for that, do we?
Could you actually open up the shortcuts and let's just talk about all the ones that we have. And this is one of those things where we'd love to hear feedback on what other shortcuts we can have, because we love shortcuts. Those aren't shortcuts, those are smart cuts.
Right.
So start and confirm recording. Okay. Pause, space, easy. Switch to webcams and then scroll down a little bit. Yeah. So basically, I think this is a feature request, right? Where you're in the circle and you want to go to full screen. So maybe that would be option F. What do you think, Darius?
Right. We did actually add the double click feature to that to make it more easy to be able to switch back and forth between that. So, I mean, actually, I don't know if a keyboard stroke would be, I mean, unless it's something like a one key situation, or you're just really good with your keys. I think for most people, it'd probably be easier to use the double click on the icon. But yeah, no, I think that's a worthwhile request. It's for those that want to take advantage of it can, and for those that want to do the click here. Exactly. So my point is that we believe in that, making it easier to do that, and hence we had the feature for that. So you got it.
Yeah, I mean, I vote for on Mac, I vote for option F, and then for PC it would be Alt F. Is that correct? Or
Well, I mean, they can customize it to whatever they want after they
right.
Once
so yeah,
yeah.
So then we'll do the equivalent. I think that's a great suggestion. Here's another one. Do you support real-time green screen masking? So that would be basically you so green screen masking. So there's virtual background and then there's green screen masking. Green screen masking, I mean, that's an Adobe Premiere thing, you know? So if you mean a virtual background like this, that's one thing. If you mean you want to be able to do the actual masking in the desktop app, that's probably, you're probably going to want to use Premiere for that. But if you want to use virtual background, there it is. Just get a good light source in front of you and then have like a homogeneous background. Like this is probably the worst thing to do green screen on. You know?
But I mean, I don't know. That's really solid. The only thing that the problem is the chair. But
Yeah.
Yeah, besides that, I've definitely seen worse in terms of
Right.
So
Yeah.
So I could probably use what you're talking about. I have a green screen in back of me, and I could probably just have a good light source on that and then use a virtual background.
There you go. And you can upload a custom virtual background. So spend a couple of bucks on Fiverr, design something in Canva, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I mean, it's amazing. You could put a logo here and it's unbelievable what you're capable of doing. So
this is all going to be under webcam effect, guys. So
yeah.
Next to the webcam, there's a drop down webcam effect. And then, oops, my Zoom controls there. Oh, I lost it. So yeah, when you're recording, not that one, the webcam effect is there, and that's where you can either upload your own right there, or you can select from the ones that you already have. And there's also blur. I didn't even know we had video in there. That's cool. You can put a video in your virtual background. I didn't even know we had that. So there you go. Learn something.
Yeah, that's definitely a beta. I mean, the question on that is, should it loop? Should it be a long video? You know,
right. Like what if the length of your background video is not as long as your actual video or something? Yeah.
So you can test that and make sure you give us feedback. I mean, the most important thing if you're going to use the virtual background is you have to have a really good CPU. You have to have, I mean, my minimum requirement on that, I think it's 16 gigs of RAM and then a CPU of, you know, 2 to 3 year old CPU and nothing earlier than that, because that's where you start to get the advanced technology. Of course, with Apple, you have the Apple silicon chip, the M chip, M1, now M2. M1 works really well. M2 is unbelievable. And then the latest Intel chip. So, you know, listen, if you have an older laptop, and if you want to make money on YouTube and social media and your email campaigns, I'm telling you, this is the time to go make that investment. I mean, you can go get a really good refurbished MacBook or a PC for really good prices nowadays. So, you know, consider doing that. I just recently bought a 15.5-inch M1 laptop MacBook. I didn't buy the M2 because it was twice the price. And I got one for like $1,700 and it's really unbelievable.
Nice. Yeah, no, I definitely recommend having if this is your source of your income, this is your primary vehicle for making income, then definitely want to invest in that machine.
Yeah, no Starbucks and no dinners for you know, a month.
Right. So okay, guys, we've now shown you the multiple clip option. And now what's going to happen next is also a new feature. Again, you'll need to click the beta switch in order to access this next feature I'm going to show you, which is the built-in editing, the merging and trimming. So if you guys have multiple clips here, at this point, after this point, you will not be able to add more clips in. So you want to make sure that all your clips you want to go in the final product are here. You don't have to worry about trimming and stuff yet. That's in the next stage, but you will want all of your footage in the timeline in the order that you want it to be at this point. And then when you're happy with everything's there, you're going to click done recording. It's going to go through a little process, and then it's going to open up the editor. Now, this editor, guys, is really cool. It's very easy to use. All you have to do is you can play your video, then once you find the spot in the video that you want to break or trim or take out, then you can just pause it. And then it's right there in the timeline where I need it. And now I can either click this button to split it, or I can right mouse click where I want to split it. So right, and I can split it that way, or I can have it be in the timeline and click split here. And so now what that's done is it's broken these clips up into 2 separate clips. And then from there, I can either right mouse and cut, or I can, if I have a split, I can click here and cut. What you will notice is there's a blank space left here. But when you click upload to Dubb or download this MP4, it's going to merge that blank space and it's going to be one seamless video. So just be aware that represents that a trim was made there, not that it's going to be a blank space in your video. But that's all that it takes, guys, is you either play the video along and then find the exact frame you want to start or stop, split your clip, find the place again where you're going to start or stop, and then split again. So that's how the feature works. Split, trim as many different pieces of your video out that you don't want there. Now, just a little tip here, guys. I do not ever recommend trimming out every single or your regular communication styles. I don't recommend going and trying to trim out every single thing like that. Unless like that's your style. This is for your YouTube channel and you have a lot of jump cuts and things, that's fine. But if it's just like a regular video where you're trying to inform somebody or entertain or whatever, entertainment's a great gray area. But for regular like business to business videos, I don't recommend making them super jump cut, taking out every single or because it's going to be very like, glitchy. Or it's really cool for YouTube and TikTok and stuff. A lot of people have that more entertainment style, and jump cuts are a place for that. But I, again, don't recommend trimming out. It's perfection that we're after, and it's actually not what we're after. So don't sit wasting time trimming out every single or things like that. Never recommend that.
Yeah, there was a technology. There was actually an app, and I'll try to remember the name of this app in a moment. But I ended up speaking to the founder of this app where it auto jump cut a video. So you took a long video, like a 2-minute video, and it would take out every possible silent moment in that video. So you have like an instant jump cut video, which is kind of what we see on social media and YouTube these days. And it wasn't perfect. You had to go in and do some tweaks. So, I mean, from a technical perspective, it makes sense to be able to automatically remove silent points or any type of pauses. But unfortunately, because sometimes we need that pensive pause, that thought, and that helps comprehension rates, the technology doesn't really know how to do it. So I'll continue to look into that because I think it's interesting. The other question that I wanted to address was music. I'm a musician. I don't know how many people know that, but I'm a musician. I love music. I would love to add music to this. Here's my pause. That the second that you add music to a video, there's a lot of creative choices you have to make. Number one, does the music fade in? Number two, does the music fade out? Number three, are there ducking points at any point in the script where you want the music to stop? Next one is if the song is not long enough for the video, then do you have another song? So now is it 2 audio files next to each other? So there's a lot of creative choices when we add music to a video project just like this one. So the most basic thing that we could do to add music to these videos is kind of like what you typically do in a TikTok or an Instagram video, which is you have your file, and then after the fact that you can go and drop some music. And if it's not long enough, it just simply loops or it stops playing. So if you guys are interested in adding music to this, I'm willing and ready to go on that journey with you guys. I'd love to get some feedback in terms of how important it is. So if you want to have music in these videos, throw the word music in the chat and I'll get some feedback. Or if you feel like you can do it outside of this, that's okay too. Yeah, v.io. Maybe that was it. I don't recall. Yeah. Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, let's finish up here. We got another step to show you guys. So after you've performed your trims, right, you took out all the stuff that you did not like, then you're going to either download this, like Ruben just mentioned. If you guys want to do any sort of post-production, like a I don't know, intro or something, you should have put the intro in there already, by the way, guys. If you have a YouTube intro or something like that, have that as a stock footage on your computer so that you can import that in the previous step. So you go intro, record your clips, outro, and then you're going to merge them all together and then trim up the pieces here. Although, like I mentioned, if you're going to be doing post-production, like transitions or, fancy text or whatever on the video itself, then you would download the MP4 at that point and then do your edits and then upload through the Dubb platform. If you're happy with what you've got there, you're just going to click upload to Dubb, and then this is going to upload this trimmed, merged version of the video straight to the platform into the cloud, and it's going to open the desktop version of this video. So you can see I'm in the desktop app now, where I can reapply a preset. I can edit the video again if I needed to, right? Use our web-based trimmer. But hopefully you guys finished your editing already, and this video will be ready to go, maybe with the final preset adjustment as a last step.
It is, folks, I have to tell you, it's the most liberating thing to record a YouTube video using the Dubb desktop app, where you use the Ira AI assistant, you create your script. Of course, you add the human intelligence to it. You want to put your own voice on it. And then each and every sentence or block or paragraph you record as an individual clip. And then you sort of pre-plan with a shot list of what you want to be full webcam, what you want to have on your screen, and then you just go one by one. And you only need to do 6 or 7 because each one could be a minute. And then you go in and just do a little bit of trims, and then you publish it to YouTube, and you can do that directly from YouTube. I don't know how many people know that. If you know that you can upload a video directly to YouTube from Dubb, please put the word YouTube in the chat, because I legitimately don't know how many people know that. It took us probably 6 months in partnership with Google to allow videos from our platform to upload to YouTube. And I'm telling you, it is so powerful. And best of all, you can do this with multiple YouTube channels. So you can have your business one, your personal one. Folks, putting your content on YouTube and being that voice, that authority, that trusted confidant to your prospective clients is going to be one of the most powerful things that you can do for your branding, for your inbound marketing, for your lead generation, for trust building, for loyalty, for word of mouth marketing. It's going to be so powerful when people see you on video on a YouTube channel talking about what you're good at and your expertise. God, I'm telling you, they build trust and they see you as the expert. And then guess what? Not only do they become your client and stick around with being your client, they go and share that video with their friends, and then you get more clients. So it is the ultimate gift that keeps giving. It is absolutely sweeter than Coca-Cola. I promise you, you got to do it.
Couple good questions. I'm going to start actually running through the questions, guys, too. So first, I'm going to answer the written ones, and then we can do hands and stuff like that. Just really quick though, Brian, you said Brian Toder said, can you please go over using the website version, using the buttons, making the video, vanish, small, etc. Brian, that's not for today's session, but what we can do is invite you to our daily live trainings. So every single weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific, everyone is welcome to join. We'll put the link in the chat now. Ina, if you could do that. Please come join us there, and we can go over anything that you like. You can come ask us about anything that you'd like to discuss, strategy or sales or marketing or integrations or having videos vanish or get bigger, whatever it is. You can come talk to us in real time there every single weekday. So please join us there for future things. We're going to keep today's focused on the desktop app for the sake of time and focus. So good. Okay. I have Dubb. Do I need to update the extension? So Marianne, yes, you will need to download the desktop app, and the link is directly below your question. So definitely get the latest version there. This is separate from the website version, and the website is already updated, guys. Nothing needed to do on the website, but if you want the latest desktop app or mobile app version, make sure you guys uninstall, reinstall the latest version.
There was another pro tip that I wanted to include, which is when you're doing your editing, there's a download button. Just download it first and make a backup of anything before you do your trimming, because that's happened to me a lot, where I go and I do trimming or editing and I screw something up because I make a mistake or I get the timing wrong and I don't have a backup of it. So make sure that you get, maybe Darius, if you could share your screen and show that, where that in the actual editor, it says download. Just download it and title it as backup file. That way, if you ever have any issues and you need to restore it and start the project over again, you can do so. Frankly, if you don't want to use this Dubb desktop app, you can also, for the actual post-production editing, you can also download that and use Premiere or iMovie or Windows Movie Maker or Final Cut Pro, whatever you want to use. There's some, I personally don't like web-based video editors because it just takes forever to upload and download. And I guess I'm impatient. I just don't like that. So I prefer to use desktop apps for editing. That's also a possibility, but just make sure that if you get frustrated with the upload and download time, I wouldn't deal with that.
And the other thing is to be aware of, guys, is once you've gotten to this point, like you've recorded a clip, this is saved on your computer. There's a backup. So even if this whole app crashes or whatever, your computer dies, none of that matters. This is already saved as a backup in your Dubb local files. So several ways to get to that as well. You can go right here, open recent. There's your most recent videos. Again, back to the Dubb menu. I think it's view or where was it? Right here, open recent, open videos folder. So those files are saved at the point that you press the check mark. It'll have a backup saved on your computer. Okay, so we were getting through some questions there. Sandy, yes, I showed you how exactly that can be used for Facebook. You can put it in a vertical format, do your 916 there, and then put that to shorts, or you can do horizontal video, because if it's just a regular Facebook post, horizontal, I think, is acceptable. Or if you're putting the Facebook post on Instagram or YouTube, you'll want that vertical format. Dwayne, yes, if you're on PC or Mac and you have not installed the most recent version, make sure you uninstall, then reinstall. Kenman said maybe monthly, probably, actually, especially right now, guys, where we're going to be releasing more updates here as the beta is approved and the new switches and stuff are turned on. So regular updates will be coming in the next period of time.
Yeah. And then Darius, sorry if you showed this. Did you show how to configure a YouTube account and upload a video?
I didn't show the configuration. I did show how to upload. So let me show the configuration as well. And
okay,
then
cool.
Steve Matthews, if you're here, yes, we do have the direct integration with Chime. So just come to our little green bubble. Sorry, move my Dubb thing there. Our little green bubble and search for Chime right here. Just type in Chime and you'll find the instructions for integrating Chime or any other platform with Dubb. Just search for the name of the platform. The other piece, you can search for YouTube there as well and find these instructions that I'm about to show you, if I can spell right. You'll find the instructions of how to integrate your YouTube channel as well. It's actually very simple, but you just click here, settings, and on the left, team, and then YouTube accounts. And then from your YouTube channel, you're going to get your YouTube ID. You're going to add this, and I'm not an admin on the account, but you'll be your own admin most likely. And you'll be able to authorize, it's going to have you log into your Google account and connect your YouTube account. Once the YouTube is connected, then you'll have this button here available on all of your videos, where when you want to upload it to YouTube, it's right here, and it's going to pass over the title of your video, the description of your video, and the tags. So just be aware that's what it's going to pass over. It doesn't happen instantly. It does still have to upload to YouTube, and you can go to YouTube and see the video upload in progress. So good. That's it. All right, Marianne, can you show us one more time how to adjust the teleprompter? Yeah, so guys, make sure that you do your adjustments. You'll do this during your dry run. Before you actually do your final recording, you'll definitely want to do a little rehearsal. And for the teleprompter, once you select your script, then you'll have the adjustments, which are the height, the font size, and the speed. So the larger the font size, the slower the speed you'll want, and you'll want to make sure the teleprompter is just up near the top, like this, maybe 2 lines at most. But any lower than that, and it's going to be obvious that you're not looking near the camera. So good. All right, stop my share.
And Darius, I have a feature request.
What do we got? Someone write it in.
Can you see my Photoshop screen here?
Yeah. Yeah.
So my feature request is to add a new shape, which is called a portrait shape right here. If you can notice this. And what this allows us to do is have the shape of a thin portrait video, so that we can have our slides to the right. And then, especially if we're using the iPhone, or if you can even turn your webcam to the side if you want, whatever you want. But the idea is to just show a portrait feed of the webcam.
That's cool. Yeah, right. We got a square, got a rectangle,
Right.
as well have the vertical style as well.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And AI Assistant is only available to paid subscriptions. Yes, sir. The teleprompter is all the difference. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing for you. Dwayne, webcam not working after new install. You'll probably have to come to support. Just ask, like, we'll have to troubleshoot it there, Dwayne. But yeah, you should not be an issue with the new desktop app. That's not been something that's come up, so should be fine. If it's a virtual camera, that might be different. You have to select your like Ecamm Live or something. You'll have to select that as your camera. Tony's not finding your Dubb preferences. Tony, you have to have the Dubb app open. Like right now, I have it open. I'm selected on the app. Oh, wait, you can't see my screen. Sorry. So right now I have the Dubb app. You can see my toolbar. I have it open. If I click somewhere else, I'm not going to see preferences. But if I'm on the app, that's where I can go to Dubb and then preferences. Actually, I don't know where that is out on a PC. It's been too long since I've been on a PC. So apologies if you are PCs. Okay, let's see here. Stream Deck. I'm not familiar. Ruben, you ever heard of Stream Deck? It's like StreamYard.
Yeah. I have Stream Deck.
Yeah. So the question was, in theory, keyboard shortcuts should be programmable on Stream Deck, correct? So maybe you can
All
program
right, so
the Dubb app.
who's my Stream Deck person? Because
David.
Who?
David. We got a David.
David, stick around at the end. Let's workshop this.
He was the one that wanted the keyboard shortcut from small to full screen as well. So
okay, I got it.
Program it with the Stream Deck. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to stick around, I'm willing to troubleshoot that with you, because there's a way to do it, and I've been trying to prioritize it. So if you want to stick around at the end of this.
Got a couple people asked,
Sure
are the say saved separately? Yes, yeah, they are. We showed you guys, once you press that check mark, you'll have a specific version saved. So
okay,
that's the green screen piece. Marianne, could we use this to record and use one of our emails? Yeah, so it's going to connect the same way the rest of Dubb does. It's just a new recording option. So once it's recorded, you can share it through all the same methods that you already use, like your Gmail or Outlook or SMS, etc.
Who wants homework? Who likes
Correct.
homework? Homework sounds boring. What's a more inspiring way to give a takeaway project? Okay, we're going to call it an inspiration project. This is your inspiration project. Record one YouTube video with the Dubb desktop app and publish it, and record one social media video for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts with the Dubb desktop app, of course, in that 9:16 format, and publish it. And just see how easy it is. It's not going to be, it's going to take some effort. The first time is always going to take some effort. You got to workshop the script. You got to make your choice. Are you going to use the teleprompter? You're going to have to kind of workshop some of the stuff where you're sharing your screen and you're putting your bubble in the correct place and you're going through those motions. But there's going to be this pot of gold on the other side of that. So if you feel that learning curve and you feel yourself climbing and you want to fatigue and you want to give up, don't give up. Push through. Come to dubb.com/T as in training, and bring us your problems, and we will be most empathetic to you to help you to get over whatever that issue is, because we want you guys to succeed. And I tell you, there is nothing more powerful than having your content exist out there on YouTube and social media, where it's a clone of yourself. How many times have you said, I wish I could clone myself to do more work? Well, this is cloning yourself to do your lead generation and to do your inbound marketing and to do your brand building and trust building and referral marketing. And this, again, is the technology that's going to help you to do it. So thank you guys so much for being the best part of Dubb. Dubb.com/T is our training. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider upgrading. There's upgrade buttons on the site. And thanks again. What else? Anything else, Darius?
I think we had a couple more. Dwayne
Okay.
had a question twice. What aspect is used for Facebook? So
Nice.
Facebook is not as strict as like Instagram or YouTube Shorts or something. So you could record either a vertical video or a horizontal video, Dwayne, for Facebook posting. Both are acceptable, unless it's a reel, in which case it would need to be vertical. So if it's a reel on Facebook, you'll need to be vertical. If it's a post, either way is fine. David, yes, you can record system audio with the desktop app. You can record system or microphone or both. So yes, that's an option on the drop down next to the microphone.
Oh yeah, we should show that. That's actually really easy to miss. Are you able to show that on your screen, Darius, or I can do it?
Oh, the microphone controls?
Here, let me just do it real. Oh, you got it. Cool.
So yeah, when you guys have the controls, whether you're recording your screen or your webcam, the drop down there, sorry, next to the microphone, that you can record either the same as system, which is both, and you can record your microphone, which is just your microphone, not your computer audio, or you can record just the system sound. So you have the options there to record what you
So
like.
if for example, if you're doing a recording of a YouTube video, and then you want to include that in a clip, like a testimonial video, right? Or like a news article, whatever it is, you can turn that on. And if the video is playing on YouTube and you're recording that YouTube video, it's going to capture the system audio, which is the sound that's coming through your computer. And it's not going to do it where the speakers leak through to the microphone. It's going to do it natively within the system itself. So the quality is going to be much, much higher.
Correct. Yep. So yes, that's how you will capture system audio. Trim. Yeah, David. So the trimming does work. Any section of the video, as many parts as you need to take out, you will trim out. And Paulette, I'm on a Mac, and even though I gave access to screen record, Dubb does not recognize him. Okay, so with Mac, you'll need to make sure that you go into your preferences and turn on access. I should show this really quick. If you're not on the latest versions of Mac, you should probably update to like Ventura or one of the later versions. And then so once you're in the later versions, it's going to have under was it privacy and security screen recording right here. So privacy and security screen recording, you want to make sure Dubb has access there, checkbox. And then you'll probably need to reset your computer. I have seen that sometimes where after changing settings, you need to reset the computer in order for it to recognize the change in settings. So Paulette, that may be your case. If you have that box checked, permissions is granted for screen recording, and it's not recognizing it, just try a reset and it'll recognize those permissions are installed. Good. Okay, Tony Robusto, the link is in the chat. So it's just dubb.com/desktop app. And that's how you'll get the desktop based version /desktop-app.
And then there was a question from Riley about adding captions.
Yeah.
So there's captions can really come in two formats: burned in or dynamically viewable, right? And dynamically viewable means that there's a CC or closed captions button that you'll see on YouTube or social media. You turn that on, and then of course the captions appear. We don't have a way to burn in captions on these videos, and the reason why I don't think we should do it is because, first of all, every platform out there, including Dubb, has an automatic way to generate the captions and then to display those. If we now have the ability to burn those captions in, and then there's a mistake, like Dubb can be misspelled, like DUB, all lowercase, and we're like, oh, we got to go in and change that. You can't change it because it's burned in. So I would just avoid burning in captions for now and just let the native platforms do them. Now, of course, the exception would be if you're on social media and you want to have a big juicy title using some of the CapCut or some of the native editing title sort of text features. Those are cool. But that's not what I'm talking about. That's a little different.
Good. Well, all right. I think that's all the questions, guys. I know you can't go from 9:16 back to 7. I think you can, but it's going to have black bars and stuff on the side of the video. So it's not terrible. It's not like the end of the world. It's possible, but not recommended because the format gets kind of weird. So, and yeah, check if it works on Sonoma. Backwards compatibility, guys, is always very, very difficult because each version, the computer chip, the process, the operating system itself. So we can't always guarantee backwards compatibility. We'll do the best that we can, though. So David on Sonoma, let us know if that's working there.
Is which one is Sonoma?
I'm not sure. That's a while ago, I think.
Yeah,
I missed that one because I know it was like Ventura and Yosemite and
that's the beta after Ventura. It's
so
beta.
so it's the newest. I was like, I don't remember even hearing about that one. So
okay.
So yeah, probably not supported then on the latest version if there's been updates there. So we'll get on top of it though as soon as we have access to the newer operating systems. We'll have the up-to-date versions.
So wait, sorry. So what is happening on Sonoma? It is or it isn't working, or
I don't know. That's what I was saying. I have Ventura, so
okay.
I guess Sonoma is the beta. So.
I would be surprised if it didn't work because I don't think they did anything fundamentally.
Right. Yeah.
different.
If they did a major update like in permissions or
or
something, but it should work.
Yeah, so we can test. The problem is yeah, we'd have to have a dedicated QA machine with just that. So do you have Sonoma? I'm curious, David. Do you have Sonoma? To be honest, I would have.
He's on the beta. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So got it. So then, yeah, let us know if it doesn't work. I mean, I think David, you're the one that's gonna meet me for Stream Deck. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
cool.
And
So
I just installed Sonoma today. I got a brand new Mac Studio
Nice.
yesterday afternoon, so I'm trying to get it at its best.
Nice. Well, listen, it's The Innovator's Dilemma. That's a great book by Clayton Christensen that talks about how innovators need beta testers like yourself. And you guys, frankly, are the ones that deal with the bugs. Like you're the reason why Apple released Sonoma to beta users is because they want to get bug reports and they're tracking it in real time. And that's going to help them. So it solves the innovator's dilemma. The newest stuff is always the buggiest stuff. And that's of course, dilemma. So thank you for testing this technology. And frankly, the same applies to the Dubb desktop app. Obviously, it's a lot more stable and we've gone through months and months of testing, but it's also about the user experience. Like even in this call, I learned a lot of things from everyone, and we're gonna make some improvements.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your attendance. Again, come see us every weekday at 10. We'd love to help you out there as well. So thank you guys. See you next time.
And thanks to Ina. Ina, thank you so much for making
Ina.
it easy for us to do these calls with everyone. You kind of just make it all magically happen. So, and folks, don't forget, we all have friends. Go share your friends, share the word about Dubb. We'd love to have your friends come and join these meetings. Dubb.com/T for support at Dubb.com for email requests. And of course, you can meet us anytime on social media, connect with us, follow us. I'm ramping up my YouTube channel. So youtube.com/Ruben Duo if you want to check that out. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.